Hello again. It's Plymouth Fury Boy 2022, aka Plymouth. If you didn't know or did know, I started making these videos about my waterline series of battleships, basically my model battleships. So, in my previous video about King George V, I mentioned that I was gonna do Yamato next, and today we are. And also, side note, the previous video of my 1 in 700 King George V, yeah, I got 95 views. Not bad, but as always, we're gonna go get into the mighty Yamato, aka Great Harmony, the one that served for the Imperial Japanese Navy, the one given the nickname Hotel just because how long she took during her construction, then sitting out in 1942 as a flagship during the Battle of Midway, and eventually sinking to her demise on April 7th, 1945, during Operation Tenichiko, when she exploded due to her magazines by aerial attacks. This is how I built the Imperial Japanese Navy battleship Yamato. Let's get into it. Alright, so this might be the same video like the previous one, like the King George V video, where I explained where I first ordered them, what did I use, and the whole painting process basically. And yeah, it's just gonna be the same thing, but I don't know if it's gonna be like very quick or something because storage probs basically. So let's get into this lot, shall we? Just like King George V, I ordered her on Amazon.ca because, well, I'm Canadian, basically. Lol. So, Yamato, on the King George V at $35, Yamato was $49.99. Yeah, in total, that cost me $64-ish. Yeah. And speaking of the full total, if I am gonna get like, I don't know, Akagi, Kaga, Hood, or like the Iowa class or Ark Royal, I don't think that's gonna happen at this point because they're too overpriced for me. And yeah, so originally November I was gonna get her, but then I shipped it off to December, so in total she was just a Christmas gift for me. Yay. And on Christmas I started working at her. At night, I stayed up till 12 just to work on her. Alright, now, if you guys remember, I talked about the tools I used for King George V, and yeah, basically this one also is going to talk about the same thing. So in total, what I used were a small hot glue gun, which fortunately this one never heated up quickly and it didn't basically melt to the plastic, so I'll give this a pass. Then I used scissors as a plier, which, yeah, some parts like small anti-aircraft main battery gun, that made it hard. And I used a tweezer for the small parts and actually holding some parts in, basically. Yeah, so in total, the model was not that bad, basically, even though I forgot to mention with others, I didn't put in the barrels of the small anti-aircraft guns basically on ships. Except for King George V with her secondary battery guns, which I did. Some parts were lost. But yeah, that's basically all it. It's just the same thing. Now to the painting process. So just like King George V, except I didn't use a dry paintbrush and put light amount of black paint to make her look like she was burnt. Yamato used watercolor paints. Basically, I just dipped black paint into water, mixed them up, and eventually coated her in it. And yes, I didn't have any primer, and I didn't have the Tamiya paints basically, so it sucked. Sorry, model kidders. But anyways, Yamato turned out great, and this was my Yamato actually. And as shown by this image, this was her in this condition. Eventually, after doing that or so, I decided to give her a deck, and I was kind of worried to mess up, but I gave her like this bright orangish wooden color, which reminded me more of Musashi, but you know the 5-foot rule, so it wasn't that bad. Eventually, a few days later, I weathered the deck, and this was my Yamato. I don't know if I'm gonna add the small stern decals, basically, but I mean, I could just leave it as is. But yeah, that was my Yamato, basically. And if you're gonna be asking what might be the next Plymouth models video, I don't know yet, because these are the only 2 Waterline series ships I have, and as I explained before, some ships are too expensive, so I don't know yet. But maybe somewhere around like November 7th, aka my birthday, or like around Christmas again, maybe there is a chance, but I don't know. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, of course, hit that like and subscribe button basically to my channel. It means a lot to me. And yeah, sorry for the long upload. I basically been tired lately, and Jesus, it's almost been like a week ever since I started making this video. But as always, see you all in the next one. See ya.